My guest today believes that art can be joyful. Combining childhood whimsy with a touch of drama, she creates amazing costumes, dresses, and installations. But first, we're going to answer the question, can I just make my own talk show? Well, apparently I can, and I just did. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dave Brenn Show, the only talk show for balloon artists, by balloon artists, and about balloon artists that is made here in my bedroom. Let's be honest, it's pandemic time. Everybody has a talk show. I'm not the only one. I know that. Last week I said that, and as soon as I said it, I was like, wait a second. I know of at least 3 other talk shows by balloon artists. I don't know what I'm saying. But hey, this is the only talk show about balloon artists that does not involve, so far, a single balloon. Not one balloon has been inflated once on the entire run of the Dave Brenn Show, and we're gonna keep it that way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm incredibly excited for my guest, Tawney Bubbles. If you don't know her, I mean, where have you been? Living under a rock? She's amazing. She's fantastic. She has a stunning sense of style that permeates all of the work that she does. Including her house, which is just amazing. We're going to get to her in just a minute. First, I want to say that my show is sponsored by Pops Trading Cards, Balloon Artist College, and of course my lovely viewers over at patreon.com/DaveBrenn, right over there. Make sure you hit like and subscribe as well. It really helps me out. More about my sponsors later, but first, I want to say hello to my lovely live studio audience. That's right, recording live here on Zoom. We're going to pop over to Gallery View and say hi to these lovely folks. Thank you all for coming. Honestly, I could not do this show without you guys. I wouldn't want to do the show without you guys. It is so much fun to have real people sitting here watching me, laughing at my dumb jokes, and getting really excited when I play the slide whistle. Come on. Come on. If you don't have a slide whistle, what are you doing with your life? People. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a few things that I want to accomplish today. One of the things we're going to do later is we're going to start filling up my, what did I call it? I called it my gratitude jar. That's what I almost forgot. This is my gratitude jar. We're going to put a penny in the jar for each one of my patrons. I'm going to start reading off live on the show the folks that are my patrons because I absolutely love you guys. We'll get to that later in the show. I also got a letter in the mail. Mr. Postman brought me a letter from Dan Mask. There is something fun in here, and I can't wait for that. And also later in the show, I have finally gotten around to sorting out the fat stack of Pops trading cards that I have, and I'm going to tell you which ones I have ready to trade, pals. So don't forget that. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, oh wait, and then the other thing we're going to get to today is our favorite Halloween candy. Now, I brought my favorite Halloween candy along with me today. I hope some of you did as well. If you did, get it handy, get it ready for show and tell, because we're going to try and determine as a group what is the best and the worst Halloween candy. Now, I know we all already know what the worst Halloween candy is. Candy corn! But we're going to have a genuine debate about it. But we're going to get to all of that later in the show. First, it is time to introduce my guest for the day. Please welcome to the show the amazing, the incomparable Tawney Bubbles!
Hello! Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Tawney, I'm pretty sure, and I'll have to go back and rewatch the tape, that is exactly the way you had said hello in the first time I had you on my show. Hello!
Okay. There's a whole thing with this.
Oh, there is. Tell me.
This is like just a weird Tawney tick when I get excited is I do this. And it was determined that it's because I don't have a tail, and I should have been born with a tail that I could wag when I'm excited to like express emotion, but I don't have that. So I do this to like wag my tail. But I had a friend who was the one who originally pointed it out to me that I do that, who then started doing impressions of me. So Tawny's sick? Oh no. Tawny sad? Oh.
Oh,
It just means I'm
I feel
excited to
like
be.
I feel like I say this every episode, but the only goal of my guest is to make me crack up in the first 30 seconds, and you have succeeded today, Tawny Bubbles.
Yes.
Congratulations. Good job.
That is my only goal, is to make you laugh in the first 30 seconds. So the rest of the show is going to be crap.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Goal
Honestly, the rest of the
achieved.
show doesn't
Now we're
matter.
done.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, the way YouTube works, people kind of crap out after the first minute and a half anyway, so we're good.
Yeah.
That's fine. As long as the beginning
short
is
attention.
good quality content. So you are dressed as I'm going with Edna from The Incredibles today.
Yeah, I was going for oh crap, I need to wear a costume. What do I have? I'll be a mad scientist and really half-ass it.
Well, I mean, I didn't even single ass my costume today. Wait, hold on. I have a sort of a
Yeah,
costume.
what is that? You
I
like
have,
told me to wear a costume and you're not wearing one.
I have a sort of a costume here. It's sort of a costume because it's a sorting hat. Get it? Yeah. I don't know why this thing keeps shouting Hufflepuff in my ear. I'm gonna take that off. That's weird. Let's be honest. I know which house I belong to. Well, welcome to the show, Tawney. I'm glad you're here. What are we drinking?
We're drinking wine. It's a Shiraz because I'm a fancy girl.
Ooh, fancy.
It delicious. I'm in a wine club, so they send wine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
How often do you get
the best way to get alcohol is when it just surprises you by showing up at your house in a case.
That's the best surprise. That's like reverse trick or treat.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's always a treat. Awesome. So I wanted to ask you some Halloween-y related things because it's Halloween times. Okay, ostensibly this is a talk show for balloon twisters. So let me just ask you, do you have like a favorite thing to make as a balloon twister for Halloween?
Oh yeah, actually, it's so weird because I'm not doing like, there aren't parties now. So
Right. Yeah.
all of the things I'm like trying to remember what I did last year. But I started making this skeleton mermaid. So it's like the mermaid, but like a skeleton. but it's great. You should give her little like, scaly tails and it's fun.
And she's got like what, bones and stuff?
Yeah,
Fish
she's got bones. Yeah, it's like the shape of a mermaid-ish, but it's like just skeletons, and like the little girls went nuts over it. Like I made the first one as kind of like I kind of jokingly said that to some kid at some point. I'm like, do you want a skeleton mermaid? And she got super freaking excited. I'm like, you're my people, small child. And then all of her friends saw it and they all wanted it, and then it just kind of became a thing from there.
I mean, that's great. I love the good combo. I had there back in the day when I was doing restaurant gigs, there was this one little girl who would come to the restaurant every week and she always wanted something completely weird. And like one day she wanted I can't remember which princess it was. It might have even been like Dora or something, but as a spider. And I was
I
like,
love that.
"Oh, yes. Okay, I'm going to do that for you. Definitely."
Right? Yeah, those are the best requests when it's just completely off the wall.
Yeah.
Yes, you please grow up to run the world.
Yeah. So you have like a fabulous sense of style.
Oh, thanks.
Every time I see you, you look. In fact, I remember the first time I met you was at the first Twist and Shout that I went to in 2009, and like up until that point, I didn't really have much experience with like the balloon artist community in general, and like the folks that I did like have contact with were like the people that were at my clown gigs and other clown people, and they just all seemed like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like weird, dopey, goofball people who were like not the kind of people I wanted to hang out with. And then I met you, and I was like, oh, cool people with fashion sense can also be balloon artists. That's pretty rad. And I was like, oh, that's exciting. And
Yeah,
you've
I
just
mean,
always been like that amazing person, and I love
well, I
that.
think I haven't always. When I was younger, one
As
of my
far as
friends
I'm concerned,
genuinely wanted to nominate me for what not to wear.
yeah.
Uh, I was like 25 and still wearing like children's Spider-Man t-shirts. it was it was really terrible. It was really terrible. And then because I wasn't interested in fashion like at all. And then at some point I realized you could still wear weird, goofy, outrageous stuff and be fashionable. I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, I get it now. I can still have fun.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like, especially when it came to the first pajama jam, I was like, oh, this person is chock full of confidence. She can just wear whatever the hell she wants, and it looks awesome. Which, by the way, thank you for creating Pajama Jam. It
Oh,
is
thanks, thanks.
a legend in time, for
I'm,
sure.
it's one of those like near and dear to my heart things. It actually, when you go back to the original, I think the first two or three, Annie Banani, who was Laura Caldwell back then, she actually hosted it with me for the first few years.
Oh, nice. Wow. Yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, it's like it was kind of like a little opportunity to dress in costume at
Mhm.
Twist and Shout because like the final night you have to wear your nice clothes, and then the rest of the
Right.
week you're just like wearing whatever you stumble drunk out of the hotel room in. But then it was like pajama jam. It is time to actually put something on, and it's like my pajamas, but it's the outfit I spend the most amount of time preparing at the convention.
I'm responsible for so many people having to overpack because you're trying to like it takes up more room in your damn balloon bag because it's this big giant fluffy onesie you're wearing
Right. Yeah.
all the time. So many people own like 5 onesies because of me. I make no
Sam
apologies.
Cremines, we're looking at you, pal. We got it. We love it when you wear your onesies.
You should see how much time I spend actually trying to find because I feel like I need to one up my own thing every year.
Right.
Uh, which is
What
not easy
do you
because I
remember
think
kind
we're
of
in
some of
like
the
year 13 or something like that.
yeah. Do you have like favorites that you've had over the years?
This last year, actually, I really liked the sleeping bag. For anybody who wasn't there, so Scott Tripp, my little cohort. I don't know why I'm pointing in a Zoom meeting, but he's one of our little live audience members. He wore one with
We're gonna
me.
switch to
But
gallery
we
view.
got
Where's Scott? Scott Tripp is over
I
here.
found these sleeping bags that have like armholes and little feet holes and stuff, and like a bajillion pockets. It's
There he
Scott is
is. Hold
actually
on, switching to gallery view. Scott Tripp in his sleeping bag.
but yeah, it's this like super fancy
Oh,
sleeping
it
bag.
has the armholes built in. I didn't
Yes,
realize
yes.
that.
No, it actually has like built-in armholes and like a little pocket for your cell phone.
That's
It was by far the
amazing.
hottest thing I've ever worn to pajama jam, which is
Right.
saying something because those outfits are warm.
Look at him go.
Oh, and it has
Yes.
a hood. That's right. It has a little hood.
Yeah. That's great.
You can cocoon yourself.
So speaking of favorite costumes over the years, do you typically dress up for Halloween? And if so, give me some highlights of your Halloween costumes years past.
Uh, obviously, I dress up for Halloween. Most of the time, they have been balloon costumes. This is what I know how to do, and I win every costume contest because of it. Um, I think my favorites. There was one year because I like weird and just dumb. Like I rarely do like a sexy Halloween costume. It's always something like over the top dumb.
Right.
So I was a chicken one year. So there were these great like it was this big giant like balloon chicken costume. I was running around, drinking all night in the stupid chicken costume. But I have these great pictures of me like drinking a martini. Uh, and then there was one year that I went as a Tawney teeny, and I was the martini. So I just had this like this black mermaid dress, and then I got a one of those dog collars like the cone of shame things. And I put that around my head, and I made like a big balloon olive, and I stuck that in my head. It was a Tawney teeny.
I love it. I love it. I have my worst when I was a kid. I remember I think I was maybe for like when I was around 7 years old. All I wanted to be for Halloween was Alf. I was just obsessed with Alf. And of course, like in my head, wanting to be Alf, what that meant was full body fursuit with the head so that I look really like Alf. And my parents, God bless them, they don't know anything about Halloween. My mom went to the store and bought me like the plastic one, like this basically a plastic poncho that has a picture of Alf printed on it and then like a
Oh my
hat.
god.
And I was just so, Mom, if you're watching this, please, I'm not like bitter about it. I think it's funny, but I was 7-year-old me was just like, this isn't okay. This is not cool.
So I actually hold on. I have a favorite Halloween costume. I don't know why I wasn't thinking Kidland. I just was thinking Adultland.
Right.
But this was like the greatest mom story. Not to not to make your mom feel any worse if she is watching this. From the elf costume. So because weird adult was a weird child. My mom and I were in the grocery store, and she was asking me like, "Oh, what do you want to be for Halloween?" And, we're talking about all the typical, oh, maybe a princess, maybe a pony or a unicorn or something. And we happened to be in the dog food aisle, and my mom just jokingly said, "You should go as a bag of dog food." That was the most exciting idea in the entire world to me. I had to be a bag of dog food. I'm like, yes! I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was kidding, but yeah, all right, let's do it. So she got one of the like super giant bags of economy sized dog food if you have 5 Dobermans or something. Our dog ate for a long time. And then she opened it from the opposite end so that like my feet could go out the bottom. And then she cut little armholes in it. And then she got like one of those plastic dog bowl things. My mom, by the way, I don't know when she had time to do anything she did, and not that this was super elaborate by any stretch of the imagination, but still, she took like the bag of dog or the dog food bowl, and she drilled little holes in it, and then she tied like string around little milk bones, so it had these little like milk bones dangling from that, and so it became like a little hat. So clever. And I was so happy to be a bag of dog food for Halloween. And I went trick-or-treating with a bunch of kids. I don't even think we had an adult with us because you didn't have that when we were kids. Right. You just ran around the neighborhood.
It
feral
was the 80s. It was
children.
fine.
Yeah, it was totally fine. And like, the neighbors would knock, or we'd knock on the neighbor's door and like, oh, don't you guys like a dog? What are you? I'm a bag of dog food. Oh, okay. Here's the Snickers. That's different. I was so happy. I was like the happiest night of my childhood. I think was running around as bag dog food.
And that's where little Tawney learned that she can wear literally whatever the hell she wants, and it's fine.
Yes.
I love that I know that about you now. I'm gonna figure out some way to bring that up randomly in conversation down the road.
Yeah, I'll tell that story whenever.
So I never ended up personally having a Halloween costume that I genuinely liked. And actually, by the time I got into middle school, I just kind of like, I personally felt like I was just too cool for school at that point, and so I just like, not that I was too cool for school, but for whatever reason, by the time I hit high school, I already wanted to be like an 80-year-old crotchety old man.
Right.
Like, not for costume, like that was just like my personality. Like, I started smoking a pipe when I was in college because I thought that was cool, and wearing a hat, yeah. But the girl I was dating in high school, her whole family was just like big into like making their own costumes out of like carved foam rubber and all kinds of nonsense. And she had these pictures from when she was like 6 or 7 years old that she would just like every Halloween she'd bring these out because this was like the most amazing thing from her childhood. Her dad made her a Little Mermaid costume that was, from the waist up, she was a little mermaid with a little tail coming out of her waist. But then from the waist down, her dad built a carved foam rubber rock
Oh
that
my gosh.
that she was actually sitting on. And then he built in this mechanism so that there was a little starfish on the rock. And every time she turned the starfish, her tail would wag. And so she just kind of walked down the street with this massive rock around her and her tail wagging. I was like, I had to wear a plastic Alf poncho, and you got that? That's baloney. I don't like it. We don't get to pick our family. We only get to pick our nose. Anyways, okay. So, did you bring any candy with you by any chance? And anybody in the audience, live studio audience, did anybody bring Halloween candy with them? Ron Fowler's here. Sick. We're gonna cut to the cam view. Ron Fowler's here with candy. All right, Ron. So far, you're showing me the worst possible Halloween candy. Lollipops are okay, but I think I saw a peppermint in there. If someone gave me a peppermint, I would not be okay with that. Yeah, pack of chewing gum. This is the Halloween candy from like a 50-year-old retired guy. 50 is not retired, is it? I'm almost 50. Not really. It's okay, Ron. That's okay. We're good. We're good on that. Okay. So listen, here a penny. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back to gallery view real quick. Show that one more time, Ron. Show that one more time. How dare you? Okay. A penny. Now, I had an aunt when we were kids, and she would legitimately do this. What she would do, she wouldn't just give a penny. That's stupid. But she would take 5 pennies, wrap them in a little bundle of tin foil, because she thought that made it cute, and she'd give that away to kids for Halloween. What?
That is effort to be terrible.
I know, right? It's like at that point you spent $1's worth of energy. Just give the kid a candy bar. But actually, Ron, not a bad segue for me, because speaking of pennies, I'm going to take a quick moment to add to my gratitude jar. So this was an idea I had way back when I first started the show. I recorded a segment like this with Smarty Pants, who was here in the audience, but his camera's off because he's too shy to show himself. But it didn't end up making it into the cut for whatever reason. So I'm going to start it again right now. 1 penny is going to go into this gratitude jar for each one of my lovely patrons over at patreon.com/DaveBrenn. Thank you so much to those of you that are my patrons. I deeply appreciate it. I can't do this show or pretty much anything right now without my Patreon money, because the unemployment check stopped coming. Hooray! Ha! But thankfully, I still have 173 patrons on patreon.com/DaveBrenn, which is amazing. I want to keep that going. And what I'm going to start doing right now is I'm going to read the list from the start. I'm sorting it by who joined first. So these are the people on my Patreon list that have been there since December of 2018, which is when I started my Patreon. Huge thank you to all of you. So I'm going to read all of the people that joined in December of 2018 and put 1 penny in the jar. My hope and my goal for my life is to get $10 in this jar. That sounds a little crazy. That means 1,000. Is that what it means? Yes, it means 1,000 patrons. I don't even know if there's 1,000 people out there that are going to want to watch the show, but we'll see. All right. Starting with John Reed was my very first. patron. Thank you, John Reed. Lisa McIntyre, who's in the audience today. Whoop, whoop. She was my second patron. Lily Von Stupp, the amazing burlesque producer and performer out in LA. She joined there. Zibby Kivy, who runs Balloon Artist College. The show is also sponsored by Balloon Artist College. All of the content for my patrons is hosted on Balloon Artist College, so thank you so much, Zibby, for doing that for me. CJ Nelson. Ooh, drop that penny. We'll have to find that later. CJ Nelson, who actually just recently added my content, my videos to his website, which is balloontwistercookbook.com. If you just want to purchase one individual video, you can head over there. Bobby Lilly joined. Balloon Blast Video Show with Scott Tripp and Sam Kermeans joined. They are here tonight, or Scott Tripp is here. Ryan LaValle, who is well known for his amazing animatronic costumes. Kathy Mannion and Donald Keith Mannion, who are my ex-parent-in-laws, and I still love them. Thank you so much to them. And of course, Anonymous, who Anonymous is no longer Anonymous. I know that Anonymous is Robbie Furman, and he is amazing. He has been on board since the beginning. That is all 11, I believe, of my December 2018 patrons. Thank you so much to you guys. Every week we're going to add in the next batch of patrons. And hey, now that Ron Fowler is here, I'm going to switch to gallery view real quick. Hi, Ron. Ron, you look cozy. What are you eating, pal? All right, you're on mute. That's okay. That's fine. You look like you're eating something delicious. It's probably a curry something or other. Am I right?
Thai food.
Thai food? Yeah, that makes about sense.
Yeah.
So let me just see quickly if Dan Mask never showed up. That's okay. So, Ron, I got a letter from Dan Mask, and the special gift that is in here is designed by Dan Mask, but produced by you, sir. And we're going to open this up and see what it is, and we'll tell people where they can get their very own. Let's see here. I got a lovely card. We got this card that has ropes on it. I haven't actually looked inside here to make sure that there's nothing NSFW. Oh, it's a book. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Dan. It's a book of poems by Dan Mask. I will not read through them right now, but actually, you know what? I do just want to read one real quick. Here we go. Okay, good, great. Okay, not my joke, that's fine. Okay, Mr. Twister, this is his business card right here, but what Dan sent me, which I'm very excited about, is one of these, the Wear Your Mask button. How rad is this button? I absolutely love it. This is fantastic. I want to put it like right on the front of my mask right there. But you can purchase these buttons from, Ron, what's your website again? Is it flowerclown.com or ronfowler.com? I don't remember. Bagaloon, that's it, of course. It is neither of the two things that I said earlier. Bagaloon.com, you can get, not only can you get amazing buttons at bagaloon.com, but you can also get Bagaloons, amazing balloon bags from Ron Fowler. Thank you so much for being here, pal. Also, congratulations for being on the mend. You were going through all kinds of health stuff recently, and thankfully you're back and strong and eating Thai food without puking it up. Woo! All right. Now, we're going to get back to Tawney Bubbles here in just a second, but first, I want to thank my amazing sponsors at popstradingcards.com, and to thank them, I'm going to go through my stack here and let you guys know that I've got some cards that are ready to trade, pals. So here's what I've got from popstradingcards.com. I have 2 Edwarl Daxon cards. So if you need one of these, I will trade one of them with you. I have 2 Katie Byrne cards. If you need one of those, I will trade one with you. And for whatever reason, I have 7 Dave Brenn trading cards. So if you want one of those, I will trade with you. And then I believe I also have, those are all the duplicates of balloon twisters that I have. But I also have, from the Best of Vegas series, I have 2 Sammy Davis Jr. cards. So if you want one of those, you let me know. Send me a message, send me an email, and I will trade with you. Thank you to Pop's Trading Cards. Also from Pop's Trading Cards, you can get your very own Dave Brenn Show sticker. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I've been going around and just like sticking these on road signs and random people's bumpers just for fun. We'll see what happens. Just trying to spread the word about the Dave Brenn Show. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna get back to Tawney Bubbles here, ladies and gentlemen. And Tawney, I went to the wrong view. I went on gallery view, speaker view. There we go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Great. Okay, so did we talk? We didn't. We got distracted. We didn't actually talk about Halloween candy and favorites. So I'm gonna share my favorite, and then I would like to know your favorites. So, favorite number 1 is of course Snickers. Now, here's the deal. I went out and bought 2 bags like this earlier this week because I figured I want to make sure that I don't accidentally like eat them all before the show. Here's the deal. I polished off the first bag in the first day and a half, and there's like 4 left in here. So I'm going to eat one of them now. Snickers. If there was a house on the street that was giving away Snickers, I mean, forget it. It was a mad dash for that house. And if there was someone crazy enough to be giving away full-size Snickers bars, oh my god, they would just be gone immediately. But now, so here's the thing: is I love Snickers. I love chocolate. I love sweet. I love the fact that there is peanuts in there, so that it's not just like a solid chunk of chocolate. There's a little bit. It almost feels kind of healthy, maybe. But I like chocolate, and I like sweet, but if you have too much chocolate, then you need to kind of cut it with something else, you know? Which is why my next favorite, Sweet Tarts. Now, I couldn't find you remember they came in little small satchels of like 2 or 3 Sweet Tarts, like lined up next to each other? Like they're in a firing row or something, and you just gotta peel it open. I couldn't find that, but I just found this big box. Turns out this is not good for moderating the amount of Sweet Tarts you eat because they just pour, a whole fistful pours out. Those little paper satchels were great for controlling, but you get a little bit. Now here's the thing about Sweet Tarts that I think most people don't understand, and it really kind of weirds me out, is the pink ones will dissolve almost immediately when you put them in your mouth. I don't know why. All the pink ones. The green ones are like made out of rock. You can sit there and suck on the green ones for like an hour and they won't dissolve. I don't know what the deal is with that. If there's a representative of Sweet Tarts out there, please tell me either what's wrong with the pink ones or what's wrong with the green ones. I don't know which one is wrong, to be honest with you, but I find it very weird. But I think these 2 are my favorite because I like that balance of like the sweet, creamy chocolate and then the kind of sour, bitter of the Sweet Tart. So those are my favorites. Tawney, what are yours?
I was a really big fan, big fan of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and the specifically flavored Laffy Taffy Banana.
Wait a second.
The other Laffy Taffies are all right, but the banana one is the worst.
Okay, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, I'm thumbs up. Are you telling me, so
Yes.
it wasn't that you liked the banana ones because you gathered them and burnt them in a pyre so that no one was harmed by them? You actually consumed the banana ones?
Yes, those are the best ones.
Wait, hold on. I'm seeing nods from the gallery. Can this really be true?
Yes! Lisa
Okay,
knows.
Papa
Lisa
is
knows.
saying no. Lisa McIntyre is like emphatically saying yes.
Because she's correct. Fight me.
I don't understand.
Banana ones are superior. And you can't even fight me because your mouth is full of Snickers and you can't talk. I win.
I'm trying to like get rid of the mental picture of eating banana Laffy Taffy by eating as much candy as I can.
the banana. Oh, do you remember making Laffy Taffy cotton candy?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, because Dave Brenn would not just get a cotton candy machine when he found out that you can make cotton candy out of any candy. He had to get like some industrial professional grade cotton candy machine. So there was one night where like I was in LA and I was told about the cotton candy machine. So we just had a cotton candy night and everybody brought candy. And for the most part, you want like just whatever, you just need the first ingredient needs to be sugar and it'll pretty much turn anything into cotton candy. So the Laffy Taffy though is the best because it like started, it did turn into cotton candy. It had that like fluffy texture for like the first second when you put it in your mouth, but then it would go back into being taffy. So it was like the most amazing like mouth experience of cotton candy. Then melting into taffy and like chewing the taffy. And the banana flavored one was the best.
Yeah, well, okay, that's debatable. Okay, this is public service announcement for anybody out there. Go on Amazon, but you can get a little one. Get the little tabletop cotton candy machine. It works best with hard candies, but as we discovered, it works with Laffy Taffy too. But really, any candy that you can jam into the little thing inside, it'll just melt it and shoot it out as cotton candy. Mind blown. Like for a hot minute, as soon as I discovered that, I was like, oh, I'm going to quit balloons and start a cotton candy company because I can get whatever cotton candy I want. It was so exciting. Thank you for that memory because
we also, if you want to remember, made a really creepy balloon bear with the cotton candy, where we took like a little balloon bear and put it on one of the cotton candy sticks and put that into the cotton candy machine to collect it because some of the candies, most candies like work really well, but some of them after like a few minutes would start to like go back into their original form. They wouldn't stay cotton candy. So I don't remember which one it was, but like it would then melt down and just became the creepiest like candied bear.
I remember that. It was utterly disturbing.
Oh, it's so disturbing.
We also shot a little promo video where Buster and I were making cotton candy, and then we put the cotton candy just around a giant like round balloon. And then we had Rob come in as our little like guy that we're gonna screw with. Hey Rob, we've got some cotton candy for you. And we cut it so that like we're like watching him going and then you hear pop and then the camera pans over to Rob and just like his face is covered in cotton candy.
I remember
that. Oh, I love it. Candy corn, yay or nay?
Yay, but only at Halloween. Like, if you present me with candy corn in December, you should go jump off of a cliff. But if you present it at Halloween, like, oh, once of the year, like, weird nostalgic treat.
So, I mean, that to me, that kind
good, but it tastes like childhood memory.
Which, let's be honest, they're not good. Yeah.
Except at Halloween when I was a bag of dog food.
My follow-up question was going to be, is dog food, yay or nay, good Halloween candy?
I mean, if somebody brings a dog and it's dressed up, then yeah. Right, I think Fido deserves a treat.
Does anybody here have any good reason why candy corn is a good candy besides just the fact that it's for Halloween? Because saying that, basically, you might as well just be saying that. I mean, that basically makes it the fruitcake of Halloween, right? It's the gross candy. Okay, Scott Tripp has his hand up. Scott, you can unmute yourself, Scott, if you have. Are you in favor or against where we're doing?
I'm a spectator in the stands here, but were you part of the Buster Balloon Candy Corn Teeny experiment?
I heard about the candy corn teeny experiment, but I was not a part of it. What was that?
Oh, would that be a Tony thing? I know he
I
had.
don't. If I was a part of it, I drank too many of them to remember it. So I don't know.
Oh, okay, then I haven't tried it yet either. It might be the thing that makes something unpalatable into something fun again.
Okay, so combine it with booze, and then we're back on track. I mean, that's what they tried to do with fruitcake, I think. I think when I was a kid, the only fruitcake I got was the regular fruitcake, and then I grew up and realized that adults just douse it in rum to make it anything worth eating. Just drink the rum. Toss out the filler. What are we doing here? I don't know. I have yet to have someone give me a valid reason why. I mean, because it can't. I'm sorry, it can't be because of the taste. It just can't be. It literally tastes like a candle.
A very sugary candle.
A very sugary candle. Let's be honest.
Oh, there's something about the texture of eating a candle that just
it just kind of crumbles in your mouth.
Feels like childhood.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't yet have a solution to the candy corn enigma. One day we'll get there. I'm hoping that at some point someone will come on the show. Sam Cremines is here. I'm going to let him in. Maybe he knows.
Sam.
At some point, I hope to have a guest on the show or someone in the studio audience that has a genuine, convincing argument, aside from it's just childhood, that I'm not letting that slide. We need more. Like maybe your taste buds are just like wired weird. I don't know. Do you also like to drink bleach? I need something here. Anyway, it's been long enough without me blowing the slide whistle. Wait, hold on. We'll get there.
I might have a thought on candy corn.
Oh my God.
Okay, all right. Go with me.
I'm going there.
Because candy corn, because of its like texture and like it is a lot of sugar, but it's not like it's not the same as certain sugary things that are like so over the top sweet. Candy corn you can have with wine. Because it's just sweet enough.
Okay. I mean, that explains the connection to childhood right there. I get it. Yeah. All right. At least for today, I am gonna go. That deserves actually a blow with a slide whistle. Candy corn is good because it pairs well with wine. Also, I discovered last week, Tawney, this really excites me. I've been doing this alone in my room all week. If you get really good at the slide whistle, it kind of sounds like a theremin.
What have you done with your quarantine? I figured out how to make a slide whistle sound like a theremin.
We are gathered here today to mourn the passing of candy corn. It paired well with wine, but now it's gone. Oh my gosh. Okay. Tawney.
Dave.
Before we go, Halloween is coming up.
Yes.
We're all still in quarantine. What are you doing? Do you have plans? Do you have any kind of goals, mission,
I have a negative plan.
negative plan?
I have a negative plan. Although, in all honesty, every other Halloween has been, because it's like our busy season. It has
Right.
a tendency to be some mad scram. I think it's also one of the reasons my costume is always made out of balloons, is because I forget to actually, like, I'm so busy running around doing gigs, and then all of a sudden, oh crap! I have 3 like social Halloween parties to go to, and I have to figure out a costume. I'm just gonna make a giant balloon bumblebee and fly around a party and take up too much space.
Right.
So I don't. So I probably wouldn't have figured out my plans if it weren't for quarantine anyway.
Yeah, I mean, basically my plan is, well, so what I've started doing recently this week is I started feeding the squirrels in my backyard because I want to train them to like come up to me and like actually take a peanut from my hand. I think I can make this happen. And if I can, then I think it would be a pretty rad Halloween photo shoot to just like go out on the backyard and set up my camera to take photos and just cover myself in peanuts and also fake blood and then just get swarmed by squirrels.
Yes.
Do we like this
Yes.
idea?
I approve of this plan.
Thank you. Tawney, thank you so much for being here. This was amazing. We're going to wrap it up here in just a minute or two, although we're just going to wrap up the recording. For those of you watching this on YouTube right now, first of all, hit like and subscribe. It absolutely helps me out. You would be amazed how much just hitting like and subscribe totally helps out my channel. It helps out my income through ads and all that stuff. So please do that. But also, if you're watching recorded on YouTube, you will not see what's going to happen after I hit the end of the record button, because we're all going to hang out here in the live Zoom for the next, however long, until we're too tired or drunk. I'm looking at you, Lauren, to keep going. So make sure you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and also on Patreon to get your invite for the Eventbrite ticket. We're going to turn on the music now because I'm going to move to the gallery view and show my fabulous Zoom audience. And I like to end every episode with a little bit of a dance party, pals. So let's see your moves. Scott, I know it's difficult for you to dance while you're in a sleeping bag, but I think it'll be really funny for the rest of us to watch. This has been the Dave Brenn Show, ladies and gentlemen. The theme music that you're listening to right now is by Adi Somek and the Unpoppable Trio. My graphics are by Jonathan Wilson. The show is produced by my cat, Baby Shark the Cat. And of course, it is paid for by my patrons over at patreon.com/Dave Brenn. My amazing guest has been the beautiful, the wonderful Tawney Bubbles. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you next time. Woo!
Yay!
Everybody! Thank you! Woohoo! All right.
I only do this show for the after party.